This is a really sort of significant development in the political race here since basically the government fell earlier in the winter and the fall. And frankly, Tom, I think this is probably the most significant thing that has happened in the race. How it's going to play out is going to be very, very interesting. But as you say, Tom, this is significant not just because of the bill, the content of the bill, because the content of the bill itself, particularly given the context of immigration, how important it is in Germany right now, how important it is across Europe, how important it's been across the United States, is not really that radical. What he is calling for is more permanent border checks. So CDU is bringing this to the Bundestag to vote today at about 10:30. We should get the result by about noon. Accelerated deportations for illegal immigration, and heightened security measures and empowering law enforcement in order to basically pursue those goals. The SPD and the Greens will not vote with it. They say that it's unconstitutional, is against European law. That is a sort of debate. What it will mean, though, is for the first time, Tom, the first time since the Second World War, that the CDU and the sort of mainstream parties will be voting with the AfD for a piece of legislation. And of course, this is what is causing this sort of fundamental controversy here, Tom. And there's a cordon sanitaire in France. There's all this stuff across different European nations. In Germany, it is, of course, very, very different, because for many, this is a sort of reminder of how the Third Reich came into power, how the Nazis grew into power, because it was by little concessions. Again, this is a different time, but this is what is getting people on the streets and protesting.
So, and to that point, it's a huge gamble, isn't it? It's a huge gamble for Merz and the CDU. How do we expect this to play out in the hours and days ahead?
Listen, Tom, I have to be honest with you. I have no idea which way this is going to go. There are a couple of different arguments about how this could play out, and I think it's a really sort of interesting debate. The thing is, fundamentally, even if you disagree with what Merz is doing or how he's addressing it, there is a fundamental problem in German politics. There's this huge fragmentation where you have all of these parties that have sort of double-digit teens, about 20% of the vote, and basically not able to get anything done. So what Friedrich Merz is trying to do is trying to say that, hey, there is a party here that can take your main concern of immigration seriously and can actually do something about it. However, he has got criticism not just from the other parties. We have Angela Merkel, the former chancellor of Germany, the former head of the CDU, going out against this. We had two church groups, two of the largest churches in Germany, coming out against this. You know, this is the Christian Democratic Union, the CDU. These are not people that tend to weigh into German politics. So this is sort of significant. And of course, for many, they would say that, listen, the CDU is just trying to imitate AfD policies. People prefer the original. This could basically totally torch Merz. On the other hand, this is basically also potentially embracing a more pragmatic approach. And basically the criticisms from the AfD is that there is no conservative vote left in Germany, because basically if you vote for the CDU, they're going to end up in coalition with the SPD and the left, and you're not going to get any sort of progress. So he's trying to sort of undermine the support from the AfD and try to attract some of those voters. The other side of this is, of course, the SPD and the Greens could have voted for this piece of legislation. So this is something that could also harm them in the polls. And when you look at the latest polls, and I just wanted to bring one up from 2 days ago because this is sort of significant. You see that the CDU has lost a little bit of support over the last couple of days. I think the final consensus on this will have to wait till Monday. But look at the scores there. CDU at 29% in this YouGov poll, the AfD at 23%. That is a 6-point spread between these two parties. The SPD, to win the election in 2021, they closed a 12-point spread within a month or two of the election. So no one thinks that this is going to be the outcome, but just looking at this race and how much a sort of torpedo has just been fired into it, I think anything could really come out of this weekend.